This is a pair of $100 Skechers shoes, and this is a $150 pair from On Running. And this isn't a one-off, it's actually Skechers' entire business model. So how does a company become the third best-selling footwear brand right underneath Nike and Adidas by doing this? Well, I bought every Skechers knockoff to find out if they're actually worth it at a fraction of the price of the originals. And to make sure this is as accurate as possible, I brought in an average citizen to test each one blindfolded. So first off, Dylan hasn't seen any of them. They're all covered under a tarp in a corner.
Tarp? You can't even afford that. It's a towel.
Well, I mean, they can't see it, so why help me like that? So this is test number one, and how it's gonna work is you're gonna wear this blindfold. You're gonna be walking on the treadmill at 3 miles an hour, so a very casual pace. You're gonna have the Skechers shoe on one foot, the original shoe on the other foot, and you're just going to blind test them solely based off of the comfort. Which one feels better as you're walking?
Feels a little bit dangerous to be
Well, you got the rails. It's
quite far.
Safety first, you just hold on to that.
I did not sign a waiver, so
You
gonna sue your ass if anything happens.
Clip this on then.
Roll an ankle, $250.
As you can see, he can't. First round, we're doing Skechers and On. That's all you need to know. One of them costs $100, the other one costs $150.
Am I allowed to touch them to put them on, or?
Nope, just your feet.
I feel like Cinderella. This is definitely going to be a safety hazard.
Why?
Because I can't even see the sides of the treadmill.
Look, you ever seen Daredevil? Seeing is overrated.
Ooh, okay. One's already feeling a little bit more comfy.
Okay, well,
right,
stand up. I'm out in front of you.
Yeah.
All right, hands over here. I'm gonna click start. It's gonna go very slow. All right, we're gonna slowly move this up to 3.
Oh, this is tricky.
So yeah, one is the Skechers, one is the On.
All right, let me tell you what I'm feeling, because on the left foot, it's got this weird balance. It's like a slant almost. My feet are like getting pushed in, like to the side, giving me flat feet. But it is the more comfy sole. And on the right side, it's tough. It is really tough, but
What is tough?
the sole is really hard.
Okay.
It doesn't feel like, oh, this is really
Squishy.
comfy, but the upper is more comfortable. So I think overall, if I'm going to be walking a mile in these shoes, I'm taking the right pair. I don't know which one that is,
Okay.
but I wish I could see your facial expression.
Okay, so final answer, you don't need any more time. You're saying the more comfortable one is the shoe that's on the right foot.
Yeah, the left foot one is really weird. It feels like a slant.
That concludes round 1. He chose as the more comfortable option this one. I'm not gonna say the names. He's not gonna know until the very end once he's been through all of the shoes. Round 2. One of them is Skechers and the other one is New Balance. Okay?
Ooh, New Balance, huh?
Yep.
They are notorious for being comfy. Oof, I don't know if I like the feel of that one. Jeez. Hey, yo, that right foot is that right foot is
We don't swear on this channel.
Okay, the left is not that much better. It is better, but it has a lot of stuff in the upper. I can't describe what it is, but it's like poking into my feet.
It might be the laces.
Could be. I don't know.
Well, ignore that if it is the laces.
Okay, yeah, it's not just the laces. There's some shit at the front too that feels like that too. It's definitely a lot more comfortable on the left. The right foot is like a brick. It feels so heavy. It's hard. The upper at the front is super hard as well. So just all in all, this is a horrible, horrible shoe on my right.
Okay, well, final answer. Which one is more comfortable, right or left?
Left foot, by a margin, quite a margin.
All right, locking it in.
Locking it in.
All right, let's move on. So, winner of round 2, the one that he said was more comfortable, was what was on the left foot. We won't say which one is that. Woo! Moving on. Round 3, we've got one of them is Skechers, shocker, and the other one is Crocs.
Crocs!
Yep.
We going crazy. What the hell Skechers doing copying Crocs? If these are classic Crocs, I will be able to tell the difference. Oh, these are a classic Croc.
But which one's more comfortable?
Can I just give my verdict straight up? Let's waste no time with this one.
Okay.
The one on my right by a mile, it's nice and flat, it's spacious, it's light. Light being a very key thing with Crocs. On the left, they're not uncomfortable, but it feels like it does have this slant inward, and they're too heavy. It's a no for me. They're not uncomfortable, but the right is a clear winner.
All right, well, I might sense a little bit of you knew it bias, but
well,
fair enough, he owns Crocs, so.
This is weird. It does have this slant to the inside.
Like
Very
it moves
strange.
your foot to the inside?
Yeah, it feels like, like on my right, it's flat. On the left, it goes like this. Diagonal, pushing me down to the side.
Locked it in?
Locked it in.
End of round 3, Dylan picked what was on the right foot. Moving on. Round 4, one of them is a Nike, the other one is Skechers.
Won't you go, lassie, go. Immediate impressions, the one on my right has a terrible upper. I can feel it digging into my feet. They don't have the science on the upper to make it nice and smooth and comfortable. On the left, however, it is cushiony as hell. Very nice on the left, I'm having a great experience. And on the right, it's a big old no. They feel, you know, this is the most similar that they've felt underneath, but they feel drastically different on the upper.
Well, you let me know when you want to lock in.
I'm locking in, left is more comfortable.
Locking in, left is more comfortable. Wow. End of round 4, he chose the left foot being more comfortable. Round 5, one of them is Skechers, the other Adidas.
Only my brain rot can take just sitting here in pure darkness, waiting around. Okay, neither are great. The left I thought was really nice, but the tongue is digging into the front of my ankle at the top, and it's got a weird narrowness at the front left. It's destroying my front piggies. On the right, you know what? Not too many complaints on the right. It's not the most comfortable shoe I've ever felt. There is some issues with the upper again, but I've got a lot more space for the piggies, and I'm gonna say it. Right wins.
Right wins. You're locking that in?
I'm locking that in.
All right. I'm stopping the treadmill.
Yeah, this left one has got a weird shape at the front. It's like, it feels where I can imagine it going like this and then this.
It
feels like I've got some Peter Pan shoes.
It is pretty narrow. End of round 5, he chose what was on the right foot.
Puma.
Huh? No, it's Adidas. Round 6, this one will be very interesting. One of them is Skechers, the other one is Hoka.
Ooh, I hear so many people talk about Hoka. Ooh, man, those ones on the left they're not just more comfortable than the right foot, but they're a dream. Woo! Those are like top 5 most comfortable shoes I've ever worn on the left.
Well, okay, let's slow down now.
No, I'm serious. Listen to me. It is extremely comfortable on the left. That is crazy. All right, the one on the right, nothing special. It's okay. But this is a clear winner on the left.
Okay.
By a lot.
So, locking that in?
Yeah.
Left foot wins?
Yeah, left foot by a mile.
All right, stopping the treadmill now. End of round 6, we have the right foot being more comfortable. 7th and final round. One of them is Reebok and the other one is, you guessed it, Nike. Skechers. It's Skechers. Let's get to stepping.
This is a tricky one.
Yeah? What are you feeling? Which one feels better?
So the foot on the right definitely has a lot more cushion. And it's got a thicker sole, whereas the one on the left is harder, but it's got a bit more room. I'm just trying to think about which one I feel less. And I think that the one on the right is gonna take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the one on the right is more comfortable?
The one on the right foot is more comfortable, locking it in.
Locking it in. All right, I'll click stop, and that concludes the final round.
Woo! Be very interested to see who wins.
So, winner of the final round was
Puma!
what was on the right foot. moving on.
Reebok.
All right, reveal time. Remove your blindfold, please.
It's gonna be so bright.
Zoom into his eyes. Yep. Yep, we have fluorescent lights on. All right, so in the first round, you had these two shoes. These are what you were wearing. Take them, have a feel, have a look.
They do look shockingly similar. Gosh. You know what? On running, it does look pretty cheap as well. So which one did I prefer?
Do you have any guesses?
No.
You wouldn't know.
This one does have that weird sole that looks like it drops one way.
You chose the On Running shoe.
Yeah. Cool. 1 point for originality then.
So 1 point to, 1 point to the original. This was round 7.
Damn.
Which one did you pick?
How is this legal, dog? This is crazy. Whoa, that one's heavy. Was this the one where I said it was ridiculously heavy, like a brick?
Nope.
It gets heavier. I imagine I picked the Nike. Or
you picked the Skechers.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
Even the outsole is so close, hey?
That is crazy. I don't even know how they're allowed to do that. Yeah. Oh, they just made a little bit of a hump and it's okay now.
Well, you preferred the Skechers, so
yeah, that fair.
Should tell you something. Next, we have the New Balance versus Skechers. I think this was the one you said was super heavy.
Don't know, they feel very similar. Oh, this one feels heavy actually. I feel like I would have picked the New Balance, right? That feels nicer. What did I pick?
Skechers. You picked Skechers.
No way.
Yep.
So that's been 2 out of 3 now?
Yeah. 2 out of 3 to Skechers.
Shocking.
Next, we got your beloved Crocs. And Skechers calls it foamies.
These don't look too bad though, actually. I would say these look pretty cool.
Yeah.
But look at that hump here. That was what was so crazy.
Well, that's what they call arch support.
Yeah, well, I mean, nothing's gonna beat these. Yeah.
Again, I think that round was a little bit destroyed by bias.
This was too heavy.
Fair enough. Yeah, you picked the Crocs, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Next, we got the Reebok Club C Classic and the Skechers.
Damn. Like every time you pass them down, I'm like, which one is which for a second? These definitely look better. Now, which one would I have chosen is the next question. This does have a good upper. This has got to be the one that I said was crazy heavy. This one feels, I think I chose the Reebok, right?
You chose Skechers.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
What?
You chose Skechers.
That is crazy. Okay, well, so I guess we were confused about their business. Now we understand. The more comfortable version of popular sneakers.
Next, we have Hoka and Skechers.
This was the one where I had a really comfortable experience. God, which one is it gonna be? Please don't let it be the Skechers. Okay, I'm gonna have a wild shot in the dark here, and I'm gonna say that I chose the Hoka, because I've heard a lot of good stuff about it.
You want to feel the midsole, see which one is more squishy?
It wasn't necessarily about the squish though. Oh God, I'm thinking it might be the...
It was the Skechers! Come on down!
No way. Okay, I'll admit it. This was an extremely comfortable shoe. Shockingly comfortable.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna argue with you on that one.
You tried these on?
Yeah.
They're beautiful, huh? And they look like goddamn 1 for 1.
It's crazy that they copy the details, like the fact that it's two-tone and the lines. Even underneath looks very similar. All right, next up, we've got Adidas and Skechers.
What are these? These are nice.
They are like the most trendy shoe right now.
I feel like I picked Skechers. I must have, because that inside doesn't feel great on this shoe. Which one did I pick?
You picked the Skechers for a landslide victory.
Wow.
So, final results. Out of 7 shoes, you picked 5 Skechers, being more comfortable. The only 2 that won were the Crocs and the On Running shoes.
Damn.
That is it.
Yeah, I didn't expect that, I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't either, but there you go. So maybe there's something to it.
Yeah, well, there clearly is.
So the question is, how the hell does Skechers get away with this? How come they haven't been hit with lawsuits from every single one of these brands? But the truth is, they have. Multiple brands have sued them in the past, but none of these lawsuits ever damaged them enough to the point where they decided to switch up business models. They still continue to do this to this day. If you scroll through the Skechers website, it almost seems like they don't have any in-house designers. Every single one is a knockoff of another shoe. Now, before I made this video, I had never put Skechers on my feet. This was the very first time. And like many, especially sneakerheads, I've always seen Skechers as kind of like a joke brand. And seeing them on that list as the third best-selling footwear brand, it was like, what is going on? But at the end of all of this, after testing them myself, after seeing the results from Dylan's test, I get it now. It's clear they kind of target people who don't know too much about shoes. Skechers aren't for people like us, but for people who maybe don't even know that the originals exist, or just don't want to pay the price that the originals cost. I also honestly found a lot of these Skechers more comfortable than the other shoes or the originals in this video, just as Dylan said. That's mainly due to the softer materials and the memory foam insole that they place in every single one. So by offering shoes that are cheap, comfortable, with popular and cool designs, it seems pretty simple. Now, I personally think it's pretty lame for Skechers to just copy the designs from other brands, but for a business, you can't really argue with how it's working. They're valued at like $10 billion, so clearly they don't care. So while it definitely will stop some people from buying from Skechers, it's clearly not stopping the majority. But let me know down in the comment section if you would ever wear Skechers, and of course, if you want to catch another video, I'll throw one up right in that corner.